college baseball playoffs start this weekend, and while baseball is admittedly behind basketball and football in terms of postseason attention, Jordan, the University of Tennessee, they are a wagon, they are a juggernaut. Let's learn more about them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that has been basically number one in the country the whole season. They are 53-7 going into the regionals. And how is this team so good? We're going to give you 5 reasons. Reason number 1, well, how are they that good? How do you get that good of a record? Well, they have the most home runs and they have the lowest ERA. That seems like a pretty good recipe. Would you say so?
That is what we call, let me check. Yes, it's good. They have a team ERA under 3. Every single pitcher with double-digit innings has an ERA under 3, which is practically unheard of at the college level. And then on the offensive side, admittedly, they do play in a smaller park, but they have to pitch in that park too, which makes their pitching staff numbers even more impressive.
Yeah, and 141 home runs as a team. I mean, this lineup is ridiculously deep. You've got possible first-round picks in guys like Gilbert and Jordan Beck. You've got some older players who are producing like crazy, like Trey Lipscomb, Luke Lipsius, and then just up and down the lineup, everything you could possibly ask for in an offense has been amazing. And the pitching staff is also remarkably talented and also really, really, really young, which is something that really stands out about this rotation.
Drew Beam, Chase Burns, Chase Dolander, Blade Tidwell. It's a very deep rotation, a lot of good arms, a lot of guys from Tennessee, which makes it even cooler that they're playing for their home school. Definitely one of the best pitching staffs we've seen in recent memory. But Jordan, what is reason number 2?
Well, reason number 2 is when you're this good, you're going to make sure everyone knows about it. And this team plays with an edge, unlike, and now look, college baseball is full of players getting amped up, of course, and we love that. But Tennessee, when you're also this much better than everyone else, you're going to be a little bit obnoxious. And I can't blame them, but my goodness, it does not seem like very fun to play against the Tennessee Volunteers just because of the kinds of antics that they're bringing on the field when they're whooping you by 20 runs.
As a fan, it is lovably obnoxious. Think like Globo Gym vibes from Dodgeball, except they win in the end. They have a fur coat that they wear when anybody hits a home run. Everyone has way too much eye black on, like young Bryce Harper type of deal. There's screaming, there's yelling, there is definitely taunting, a whole lot of bat flipping. It is an entertaining circus of a team that also happens to easily be the number 1 team in the country.
Yes, and that brings us to reason number 3, which is their coach, their head coach, Tony Vitello, is a huge part of the reason why this team plays the way that it does, with an edge, with an unbelievable amount of swagger and confidence, because Tony Vitello, as far as head coaches go, is basically that far end of the spectrum as well. Tony Vitello has brought life into this program in a way that was hard to even fathom even 10 years ago. But what he's brought and how much bravado he brings even as a head coach, which, look, there are plenty of college baseball coaches that are just standing there, sitting in the dugout and aren't saying a word. But this guy is bringing the energy just as much as the players are, and it is incredible to watch.
A lot of college baseball coaches, there's a culture in college baseball of kind of subduing energy, or at least there has been historically. And Vitello is one of the first coaches at this high of a level at the SEC to encourage bravado and swagger and kind of, unforgiving energy, which has really been huge for this program. Imagine it kind of like a college football coach plus a Premier League soccer manager. He's like a Jose Mourinho plus Dabo Swinney type of energy.
It's wild, and yeah, does it rub some people the wrong way? Of course it does. But hey, we're talking about entertainment here, and I promise you, this will be one of the few head coaches who will entertain you at some point this college baseball season. Now, reason number 4, I think you got to tune into Tennessee. Is that stadium we mentioned earlier, Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Now, this is a stadium that, yes, it is hitter friendly. Yes, the dimensions are pretty small, but that's what's going to make it so interesting. There are going to be some teams going into this regional, teams like Georgia Tech, they can hit home runs too. But Tennessee has been so good at somehow managing to keep the ball in the yard while only, they're the ones hitting the ball out while also keeping the ball in. It's incredible. Sure, some teams that come in and be like, oh, this is a little league field, this is a joke. But clearly Tennessee has found a way to perform in that park, and I'm sure it will be a continued a part of the narrative as they on their road to Omaha over the next 4 weeks.
And the atmosphere will be incredible.
Oh yeah.
Expected to be packed sold out, a lot of orange all weekend. The Friday night game against Alabama State is going to be one of the must-watch baseball events of the entire season, MLB or otherwise. Make sure you watch that. Now, the fifth reason you got to tune into Tennessee, if you have an internet connection, a Twitter account, an Instagram account, and have ever watched a baseball game, you probably know about a gentleman named Ben Joyce. He's a reliever for Tennessee, and his whole thing is that he literally throws 104 miles an hour.
Regularly, right? He's been up to even 105 recorded this season. This is easily the hardest throwing college pitcher we have ever seen. That is not hyperbole. The way that Tennessee has used him this year has been variable, because sometimes they've used him as an opener, sometimes they've used him, in long relief or as the closer for the ninth inning. The point is, he will throw harder than any college pitcher you've ever seen. And hey, if it goes well, it'll be great. And if some hitter is capable of turning around 104, which we've actually seen a shocking number of times this season, that will also be plenty entertaining, which brings us to the final reason, which isn't, it's not necessarily in the top 5, but listen, no matter what happens with this Tennessee Volunteers team, it is going to be entertaining. If they go down in flames, whoever team that beats them is going to be just as obnoxious as Tennessee has been all season long, and they will have earned it. And if they win it all and they go wire to wire as the number 1 team in the country, we can say that we saw one of the greatest college baseball teams that ever took the field. So no matter what happens, you're going to have to watch the Tennessee Volunteers in this postseason.
Now, make sure you read our article about the Volunteers on foxsports.com or the Fox Sports app. We go into a lot more detail, give you a lot more numbers, kind of show you how this team was built. It's a very, very unique situation there in Tennessee. Tune in and watch it. Read our articles. Mintz Jordan Shusterman signing off. See you all later.